Today we are going to tell you about a 28-year-old Kenyan hacker who stole millions from Safaricom, NIC Bank, NTSA, and 4 billion Kenya shillings from KRA after hacking into their systems. On December 18th in 2015, IT guys at NIC Bank were counting days to their Christmas break when they received an email that quickly killed their vibe and immediately had to hold an emergency meeting. The email had been sent by a hacker who was demanding pay for him not to publish confidential information of the bank's customers. 6.2 million Kenya shillings, and he wanted it sent in bitcoins. This is because that would make it hard for cops to trace both the funds and him. So quickly, the NIC Bank dons jumped into crisis management mode, thinking that they were dealing with some Russian hacker, not knowing that the only international thing the hacker had was his IP address. Everything else was local. From his name to the crib he was chilling at along Thika Road as he sent the mail. Man was 100% Kenyan. His name is Alex Mutuku, a 28-year-old soft-spoken adrenaline junkie who, when he was not indoors making lethal codes, he was outside getting his dose of adrenaline from his superbike, the second love of his life. Alex was born in Machakos in 1989, and ever since he was a young kid he was a genius, topping his class right from primary school days up to when he did his KCSE at Kathiani High School and scored an A that earned him a spot at University of Nairobi to pursue a degree in information technology. This was not only his dream, but also brought him to the capital where he met the man who introduced him to the dark world, Mr. Calvin Otieno Ogalo. A former police officer who, after getting fired from the banking fraud unit squad for cutting deals with hackers he arrested, decided to learn IT himself. On Destiny's bill, the two met during a hackathon workshop in CBD, where, after establishing trust, Calvin inquired from Alex something concerning school systems for an assignment that required him to change continuous assessment test marks for some students. Being the good chap he was, Alex helped Calvin out, and this cemented their friendship, to a level where Calvin offered to take this young brother under his wing and show him the ropes. Problem was, Alex was still young and fearful. He needed time to hone his skills, and quite understandably, so he was right. So Calvin gave him time, hoping that one day Alex would call him with the words, "I'm ready for the big league." However, Calvin had to wait for 2 years, because Alex wanted to test his skills. In 2013, he tested them by launching his freshman project that targeted Nation Media Group. Successful from this Nation attack, Alex locked in back to his zone, planning a hack that would now bring financial value because this time his prey was big. Very big indeed. His prey was telecom giant Safaricom, whose heist needed supercodes. After planning for a while, Alex decided to attack on February 24th in 2015. From his crib, he interfered with Safaricom's convergent billing system and loaded airtime worth 3.7 million Kenya shillings into his designated numbers, which he resold at a discounted price. Good business. This boosted his confidence more to finally make the big call to the boss himself, Calvin, to tell him that he was ready. Very fast, Calvin accepted him with open arms and he joined his cybercrime gang, the Fork Bombo Gang. Their main role was to attack banks by teaming up with rogue bank workers who planted their infamous software in their computers. In August 2015, NIC Bank became their first casualty after the gang managed to steal 2.88 million from the bank head office. The success of this heist is what inspired Alex to send an email again on the 18th of December 2015, seeking a 6.2 million pay not to disclose confidential information of the customers they had accessed. However, they did not get paid by NIC, who involved police. A well-trained fraud team tried to catch them, but since they had insulated themselves from identification, the cops' efforts were futile. So the gang continued with their salami attacks in 2016, with the most lucrative being at Kitui Ifmis, that led to losses in millions. Millions split amongst themselves left Alex with Caliph Cairo's wisdom. He came up with rich men proverbs because he could now bring to life dreams he thought would take years to achieve. One of the quotes posted on his best quotes would be, "Tumia pesa ikuzoe," use money that it get used to you. Without wasting time, Man set off for an East African tour when Kenyans were dealing with the trouble of January, the broke month. Like the genius he was, he used public means to avoid suspicion of sudden wealth. After a nice East Africa tour, the gang settled on attacking government institutions, which turned out to be their biggest mistake. They started with NTSA, where they manipulated the state agency's website to approve number plate allocations for businessmen at a fee. Then they made the ultimate blunder, hacking KRA. For a price, they helped businessmen evade import taxes by registering vehicles without paying a cent. To do this, they installed malware into KRA systems, effectively controlling their computers. When the dust settled, they had stolen 4 billion Kenya shillings. That was when things got real. The KRA heist made national headlines. How could Kenya's tax authority lose billions to a faceless hacker? The manhunt began. Yet despite their efforts, including demanding Google reveal his details, Alex remained an enigma. Meanwhile, Calvin wasn't so lucky. A police raid on his house linked him to the KRA attack. Worse, they discovered cocaine in his Benz, and just like that, he got 7 years behind bars. To this day, Alex Mutuku walks free. KRA failed to nail him. Google didn't snitch. Some say he retired. Others believe he's plotting another digital heist, possibly sipping a cold drink in Dubai, watching government websites, waiting for an opportunity. Subscribe to Online Community KE for more jaw-breaking stories. See you in the next one.